Hello, everyone. I'm gonna react to another video because it seemed really interesting. To start off, I'm a noob. I'm not a pro, so everything I'm about to say may not be 100% correct or accurate or called whatever. But I'm purely gonna react based on my experience to Diablo 4. And of course, for the creator of the video that I'm responding to, if you want me to take the video down, please just leave a kind message to me and I'll happily take it down. I'm just mentioning that, like, I have changed settings of my description so that what is it again? So that if someone has a problem with me reacted to something, as in the original creator of the video that I'm responding to, but only towards videos that I'm responding to, though, then I made a small message that people can leave me a kind message, like our friendly message called whatever, because I just like to be kind to one another. I feel like we all want to be treated in a fair way, and if it's obviously not my video, because you'll see that in a second. So if they, don't want me to respond to it, or they say, hey, you know what you'd like to pull down or whatever, then sure, fine, no problem. I don't mind at all. But anyway, let's go to it. I will pause here and there sometimes, because the video, while it may not be extremely long, I have a really bad memory, so yeah.
Hi everyone, it's Rax. Come here today without very good news, and I'd just like to give you my opinion on what's going on here with Blizzard and Diablo 4. So, if you have not heard, Blizzard announced that the Gauntlet would be releasing... Well, first of all, let's step back a moment. Several months ago, Blizzard said that the Gauntlet would be the headliner of Season 3. It would be the leaderboard thing. It would be the competitive thing. They announced this for months and months. Season 3 started. It wasn't there. Then they said, hey, it's going to release later on in the season so we can give other people a chance to level up, because everybody levels at different paces. If you go back to a few of my videos before where they announced that, I said, I don't want to call Blizzard liars, but I don't really believe that that's the reason. I just don't think it's ready. They're just not ready. The other reason doesn't make sense. I've explained why multiple times. So then, a little bit later, Rod Ferguson announced that it would be releasing on February 13th, which would be about a week from now, right? Well, now we got another update, and they said that they're very excited. They're still on track for Season 3, but they're going to take some more time to polish a few things up. So it's not releasing on February 13th. They'll announce the date later, and then if you read through the comments and the opinions of everybody, everyone is pretty upset. Not just with this specific event, but with Blizzard and Diablo 4 in general, right? So I don't know everything. I don't have all the right answers, but I would like to make a video just giving my opinion. Again, I'm going to try to be kind of objective here. I'm not going to just bitch and complain and da-da-da-da-da, but I just want to share some thoughts here because it seems like it's a little bit of a downward spiral. So Diablo 4 has made a couple of critical mistakes in its timeline so far. So first of all, in the beta, a lot of the things that we found fun, like Necromancer leveling with minions, they nerfed everything. And then the game launched, and then they nerfed everything, and then they learned from that, and they said, okay, we're taking all the fun out of the game. We're going to stop doing that.
It's funny in a way that he mentions that, because as you guys know, or maybe some of you don't know yet, I'm a Necromancer main, and I'm Bone Spear and Blood or whatever. But I like minions. I like to summon the undeads because that's what I feel like a Necromancer is about. So the moment he just mentioned it, I'm like, I'm kind of like gailing IRL because he's not right. He's 100% not right. Like I saw what was it again? I believe I saw Asmongold's back then, like a short video that he was playing with a with this other person. I believe it was a girl. It was also a streamer, I believe. I may be wrong about that, but I don't remember her names. That's why I'm specifying that she was a girl because she was also playing minions as an aggressor, obviously. And they were using Corpse Explosion in one of the fights there, and it was amazing. Like, Asmongold reacted in a way that he said that it was... I may be wrong about this, so don't judge me too harshly here, but I believe he said that it was overpowered or something. I may be completely wrong because it's a long time ago that the beta was there. But I remember that the other person, like this girl, that she replied to, I hope that they're not gonna change it. And the moment she said that, I was like, I 100% agree with you. Like, I don't want to be a freaking, what do you call it, like an 80-year-old grandma walking through the game like it's a chore and just being so slow. I hate being slow in a video game. And obviously, depending on the game, because if you're playing a stealth horror game, you're not gonna at least I won't. But yeah, I totally agree with him here. They did indeed say, like, hey, you guys did like this or whatever. We're never gonna do this again because I was a big nerd back then or something. But the thing is, even though they're never gonna do it again, as they mentioned, like, I feel like the moment that they said that, they were almost like getting scared, as in, for how are we gonna handle this in the future? Because we don't want to make something so powerful and then nerf to the ground again, because then we break our promise. I guess that's what they're thinking. I have no idea, of course, because I'm not the developer. But I feel like they're like being extremely careful with balancing. And mostly regarding the classes that are not in a good spot. And yes, I know that every single class has maybe 1 or 2 builds that work, but there are a lot of other builds that should work that don't.
Please don't nerf this.
This is done.
I love this so fucking much, dude.
This is 100% done.
I agree with her, by the way. It should never, ever have been nerfed like that. This, right here, is amazing. And do keep in mind, this is only level 25. It's World Tier 2, level 25. We're not level 100s. We're not level, World Tier 4, level 100s fighting Tier 100 enemies in the Nightmare Dungeon. No, this is level 25. This is amazing. That is what I want. That is just awesome. And here, someone says it as well in the comment, which is really fun. Necro is like PoE Auto Bomber. PoE is the short name for Path of Exile, which, for the people that don't know, Path of Exile, it might be a difficult game for the skill tree and all, and there's a lot to learn. But gameplay-wise, it feels so good. It feels so amazing. This is what you want. And I know there may be people saying, that's gonna be too easy. You're only level 25. They're only level 25. So what do you want it to be? It's right now in the game, it's struggle. This is what you want.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
But then they have made a bunch of promises that they said that they were going to do, this being one of them, for example, and it really hasn't come to fruition. For example, another one is they've said over and over and over again, we know about endgame, 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 endgame. All we had was the abattoir, which did not release very well and required another emergency hotfix. And then we have this, for example, and we still to this day don't really have an endgame. And this was supposed to be the endgame thing, and then it was also delayed. And then it's also all of these emergency hotfixes, The singular point of redemption that seemed to occur was when Season 2 came out. Season 2, the vampire theme, it was kind of meh. We weren't too sure hearing about it. But then when we played it, it was actually a hell of a lot better than the Malignant Hearts for a lot of different reasons that we've covered in other videos. On top of that, it seems like the developers kind of went into like emergency mode and put in a ton of hours to actually release a ton of quality of life that made the game better. It did not fix itemization, which by the way is supposed to come in Season 4, and it still didn't give us an end game, but they did clean up a lot of the different things. And they have learned some lessons, like Ball Lightning released way too powerful and they just let it go. Hoda Barb right now is way too powerful. They just let it go. And then some mistakes were repeated, like some of the problems from the Season 1 team and let's call it the odd season team. They made the same problems with the Seneschals. They released way too they're very underpowered, and they're also bugged. They either hit for nothing or they hit for 16 quadrillion damage, so we got bugs, otherwise it does nothing.
I won't talk about the Seneschal, like the Companion, Scorpion, whatever it is. But Sorcerer Ball Lightning, well, it may have been really strong. Hold on with this. I feel like the most of the strong stuff that came from Sorcerer was only like maybe one bug, or maybe more, I don't know. But at least one bug, because it was something with fire or something that was breaking lightning as well, which is weird, but whatever. But that aside, even without using the fire, it was still pretty good. But I feel like it was a lot that it had to do with vampiric powers. Because I tried Ball Lightning this season and I hate it. It's, to my perspective, if looking back from Season 2 to what I tried this season, I don't want to play Ball Lightning anymore. It is, in my opinion, really bad. I don't like it. That's kind of a thing that I feel like is gonna happen a lot. Because, while it may have been powerful for sure in Season 2, although it may have been a lot because of the vampiric powers, which I don't know because I genuinely don't know how to test that properly. Outside of just removing all the vampiric powers, but I did that, and it was, back then, still okay. It was a lot less stronger, but it was still okay, but it may have been because of other perks that I don't know about, so it's really hard to tell. With that said, I don't see why, if something has good, has good potential and people have fun with it, why would you want to nerf it? Like, I don't see the point in it. As in, look, like, if you go to Uberland and you hear 5 seconds, okay, sure. That's perhaps from some people's perspective is like, hey, that's way too strong. But do keep in mind, what do you get from Uberland? The first time that you kill her, you get a little bit of loot. And then you get Neverluriga. And then you got a chance to win, I believe, a mount skin? Or a mount, or whatever it is. And armor can drop there as well, I believe. Mount armor, I mean. But other than that, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. And the only reason Uberland is difficult is because she has stupid mechanics that one-shot you. The only reason that people were able to beat it, from what I've seen in a lot of videos anyway, was basically skipping the entire one-shot mechanics by dealing enough damage so that you could skip it. I don't see an issue with this personally, because one-shot mechanics should never be in the game, for my opinion. And again, I am a noob. I'm not a pro. So I hate that kind of stuff. Well, Stark, for example, did it a lot better, where they have, like, stacks going up. Meaning, I don't remember how many stacks it were, but let's say, for example, you have 7 stacks. And by the first few, you get maybe, I don't know, a little bit less resistance or something, or nothing happens even. Could also be nothing happens would even better, to be honest, for the casuals out there like myself. And then once you go to the 7th stack, which is like 7 out of 7, then it's like, oh yeah, now it's a one shot. So basically you have to watch out for, I don't know, the field stuff that's gonna happen, like the AoE or whatever, the attacks. I don't think this will be a lot better than, oh, here's an attack. If you don't dodge it, well, you're reset. You're reset the fight because, you died. I hate that about all the bits. So the moment I finished her with my ball lightning, I just made it stronger until the point that I could just speedrun Lilith and help others literally just beating for the achievements. Like, that shouldn't be the way to go about this. Because you're literally just bypassing basically the entire fight by skipping the mechanic because you're dealing enough damage. But it don't feel like that's an issue with Sorcerer or Barbarian or Cult, whatever. It's more like a bad design of a boss, if you ask me. But anyway, Ball Lightning, from my perspective, I loved it, and I hated that was Season 3. So that's all I'm gonna say about it.
And it's not really playing an active role in whatever you're doing. Couldn't level it up. Another emergency hotfix. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. So, in my opinion, this is what I think Diablo 4 and Blizzard needs to do. I think you should pull the gauntlet for Season 3. Season 3, cumulatively, is going to be a loss. It's a loss, right? Most people really don't like the pets. They've moved away from it. They did do the emergency thing and made it a little bit better. It's kind of over. The thing that we were hyping up for Season 3 didn't release. It's going to release on February 13th. Oh, just kidding. It's coming later. And when it comes later, Last Epoch's going to be out. Not like they have to plan their lives around Last Epoch. But if you're going to make people choose against one or the other, people seem to be more favorable toward that game than this about what's going on. I would just pull it, man. I would say release it in Season 4 with the itemization update, because it's much more than just the individual events coming out. It's not just about the gauntlet. It's not just about the Seneschal theme not releasing well. It's about people are actually genuinely losing faith in the Diablo 4 team. I personally have in my Discord inbox right now a bunch of DMs from different content creators where they're asking my opinion, and I'm trying to not be super negative here about the situation, because people are just genuinely down to their core losing faith. Some people have lost it a long time ago. Maybe there are some people still here really enjoying Diablo 4, and all of this, they couldn't care less about any of it. It doesn't matter to them, and they can't see why everybody would dislike it. I understand, especially for any people that don't play the game a ton. If you don't play it, put a ton of hours into it, probably a lot of these things that are going on don't really matter too much. But I am feeling a strong, palpable sense in the community that people are actually genuinely losing faith about what's happening here. I think you need another inflection point like Season 2.
I definitely can see his perspective. Bringing the leaderboard or moving the lane, it's called whatever, to Season 4 instead of pushing it in Season 3 right now. Personally, as I mentioned before, leaderboards are not important to me. I just want to play the game and have fun. But for me, there's a major lack of endgame, and the gauntlet and leaderboards will be that will be the new endgame, or at least one of the parts of the endgame that will come, because there will probably come more in the future at some point. It's a part of me says waiting a few more months and pushing it in the new season. I don't know, but then another part of me says, well, I'm reading this. Well, not the beginning, because it says we're still on track for season 3, but decided to take a bit more time to polish a few things up, so it won't be launching on February 13th, as I mentioned on a recent podcast. Yeah. Having that in the back of my mind, I probably will say that I agree with him. I push it to season 4. Because clearly you need more time. And I believe, or to my experience at least, I cannot remember a single update that came out that actually fixed more than it did harm. And just as you mentioned, I'm not trying to be extremely negative here, even though I'm pretty sure I sound negative right now. But there's been a lot of normal big fixes, normal hot fixes, call them whatever, or emergency fixes. Already for 3 seasons together, we have the same damn exploit, for example, the duplication exploit, that they still didn't fix, because it was in season 1 they didn't fix it, and then I was like, oh, emergency, blah blah, season 2, oh, it's back again, emergency, season 3, oh, it's back again, emergency. Like, do keep in mind, that is 6+ months of them having the same bug in the game after they push in the new season. I don't get it, because nothing about Duriel or the other bosses has changed regarding loops. At least I don't think so. I'm generally crushing myself right now, because I don't know why seeing Beck is coming back again. Because it's gonna kill the market for the casual players that are like, oh, you know what? I've seen that shop maybe one time in the Discord. I may need you know what? I do need to kill Duriel for an achievement or something. I don't know. And then you look at the market and it's like, oh, you know what? Because they're casuals and maybe they have never heard of the market and they see it for the first time in Discord and they go to the trade site and it's like, can't be that expensive, right? And they see for one Duriel set, which right now is about 14 million, that is ridiculously expensive. And I know there are people out there that have look at their bank right now and they say, oh, but I got 8 billion. Yeah, but you're then definitely not a casual. Currently in my bank, I have about 120 million, and that is me doing a lot of whispers. Mostly, partially for XP, partially for getting the item system and Duriel, to get a stupid helmet for druids. But anyway, I'm getting over points. Like, pushing the leaderboard and the gauntlet to season 4, I think is the right idea. For a big reason as well, that I hope that itemization is going to be fixed in season 4, considering how the policies have been regarding content. I'm not very hopeful. But it depends on how they handle it, as in if they listen to the player base, with the people that actually are experienced with regarding stats in the games. There have even been videos out there like, hey, you can remove about 80% of the list. Like, for example, dodge chins. I don't think I've ever seen any build anywhere using dodge chins. Or for 4 seconds after killing a light, you get a little bit more damage or something. Okay. I've never used that myself, and I'm never gonna use that because it's horrible. Why would I want to get like a temporary buff of 4 seconds on the gear item? You want a permanent buff on the gear item, not a temporary buff. So, yeah, I think it's not a bad decision to push it to Season 4. I think it's gonna be really good if itemization is being handled decently, because then casuals are gonna be having a better time making a build as well, if they handle itemization properly from the developer side, of course. But we'll see.
I think the team needs to call Season 3 what it is and take the next couple of months of development time, get the itemization rework that was planned and promised in Season 4, get that nice and polished, and release the gauntlet then. I think you're going to get way more mileage than releasing it halfway through a season, 3/4 of the way through a season, where people are already, as a collective, dissatisfied. And in my opinion, one thing that Diablo 4 has done, which is nice, I wish Diablo 3 would have done this, is they have stuck to their 3-month schedule. 3 months, another season comes out. 3 months, another season comes out. And that's fantastic. That's the way I would love you to do it as a player, but also selfishly as a content creator, because, well, it's just easier for me to pay my bills if they release more godly stuff and everyone likes the game, if I'm being honest with you. But I think with this particular moment, with people's faith hanging in the balance, if you are not ready to launch Season 4 with the gauntlet in very good condition and without that itemization rework exactly as you want it, for the love of God, delay the season. Make Season 3 go another month or something. Season 3 is already a wash. That's fine. That it would be my advice. And go another month or something. Season 3 is already a wash. That's fine. That it would be my advice. And that does not help me. As a content creator, I want you to vomit out stuff as fast as you possibly can. But there are so many people tied to the franchise that are feeling so bad about this that I think this is the best play. And I'd be interested to hear how you guys feel. How do you guys feel about this? Do you even care? Are you guys paying attention to all this stuff going on? But I don't really like to get involved in drama. I'm not calling them names. I'm not calling them stupid. You want to know what I honestly think? I'm guessing they're maybe understaffed, or they have too much corporate red tape. I'm guessing the developers are absolutely exhausted. I'm guessing they're overworked, and I'm guessing that every single time that something like this happens and there's more negative publicity, I'm sure it wears on them. They're humans over there working on this game.
He's definitely not wrong. I think that, yeah, what do you call... Apologies for that. I definitely think that he's not wrong about that. Because I've seen many videos or articles of people that worked from Blizzard, or when they worked there, stating that they were overworked and that it was really rough and whatever. Was overworking on the paid or something. But I didn't work there, so just don't take 100% my word for it. But I just read it somewhere. I saw some videos as well of people that worked there, like, hey, this is what's going on, etc., etc. But I want to agree with him on, like, a lot of things here, but I also want to mention I don't want to go into the drama. I'm purely replying because I want Diablo 4 to become good, and I have not played any other Diablo game, so I have no idea how it really is supposed to be outside of having played this game, having seen a few videos here and there about older Diablo games, and that's about it. But that being said, I don't think he's wrong about this. As in, it might... Okay, here's the thing. They are a multi-billion-dollar company, yes. But do keep in mind, the people that are working on the game are not the people that have the power. As in, and there's always someone higher up, in a way. And you see that in a lot of different live service games as well, where either the servers are having issues or random stuff happening that just doesn't make any sense for the amount of money that the company has that it should be able to put in the game for it to run properly, to work good, hire more people, etc., etc. But it seems to be a thing nowadays. And I'm not saying this is happening to Diablo 4, but just in general, it seems to be a thing nowadays that big companies are just starting to buy each other out, like Microsoft, for example, to Blizzard. Even though that didn't happen too long ago, but just for example here, I feel like it might be a big part that they have like a very big budget, but that is just that the higher ups are not willing to put it into the game. Or if not into the game, then to hire new people or whatever. I feel like, it's like, what do you call it? It's like, Diablo on Murder, for example. That game on itself, it was original created on, mobile, of course. But there's a PC version or something, or app or whatever. There's a PC way to go about it anyway. And I've played it for a little bit. I did not pay anything, by the way, but I just wanted to see what the game was about. Because I hate pay-to-win games. But here's the thing. I played it for, I don't know, 20 hours or something, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I've seen enough. I didn't crash a single time in the 20 hours. It ran smooth, frame rate was always up, it was stable, shop was stable, skins looked really good. Like, I feel like that is where it's going wrong. As in, the focus from the higher ups are like, because they may not be people that play video games. They may be just people that like to see the numbers go up in the data sheets or whatever that say, how can we make a lot of money? Doesn't matter how we're gonna do it, how can we make a lot of money? Oh, we're gonna put the price tag of the game in plus instead of $60, we're gonna make it $70. We have I'm just going at random here for examples. We have an Ultimate Edition. Oh, and that's the only one you can play New Game Plus in. By the way, this is not Diablo 4, but I'm just making examples here. And, we're gonna put, $30 skins in the game. I don't know, you could call it whatever. And I feel like that's what's happening more. Like, the cults make the game great in a very much shorter time than, they're doing right now. But they just are probably, if you ask me, completely understaffed because the higher ups just say, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. This is just not what we do here. We like to keep the money and, we're gonna, like, make it okay, the game. It's gonna run. It's gonna work. It might not be a 10 out of 10, but it's gonna work. But I can definitely see where this guy's perspective is coming from. That's all I want to say.
God, it's got to wear on them, man. It's wearing on all of us. Blizzard, my message to you would be, please, just cancel the gauntlet for Season 3. Work on it. Work on the itemization thing. If you want someone's opinion, it doesn't have to be me, but I'm around. I would love to help you. Send me a message. You want to give me a PTR? Let me test it for you. I'd be happy to help you. There'd be a lot of people happy to help you. I really want to see you guys succeed. For the love of God, if you're not ready for it, Season 3 already sucks, delay it. Get it right, get back on track, and then let's start on a good foot in Season 4. It's the even season team. A lot of people are banking on that. They did pretty good with the vampire theme. Hey, you just pull all the resources on Diablo 3. Diablo 3, most people don't think Diablo 3 is a great game, but one thing that almost everyone agrees on is the very last little team. Frankie and Matt and all the people on that team that made the very last Diablo 3 seasons, they get a great job. I think they're all still working at Blizzard. Why don't you give them a call? Let's get him in there. Anyway, I'm frustrated. I'm sad. I'm crying. I would say delay the gauntlet till season 4 and get it correct with the itemization revamp. If that has a great seasonal theme tied to it, if you can do all of that, we might be back on track here. Let me know what you guys think, but yeah, it is what it is.
It's a good video. I like it. It's very, I feel like he, comes from a good spot. I think just towards, responding towards the Twitter messages or just in general for Diablo. I'm not gonna make the video any longer, and I'm not gonna say much more. One thing I do want to mention, though, is, the public test room. I feel like that's what PTR means or something. I never heard of that before, but I feel like that's public test room. That sounds logical to me. Considering he mentions testing, I believe he did. That might honestly be, it might be a really smart thing. But I feel like the bigger issue that's gonna come is still gonna be every single, season that's gonna come. Because in the beta, they gave, the people, or the players, whatever, gave feedback, and the developers, from what I've heard, because I wasn't in the beta myself, they didn't listen. And I'm like, they should. Because without the players, there's no game. Then there's just an empty game that has a season with no players. Nobody wants that as a developer. But my, personally, I will definitely say a public test room. Very smart. I will definitely, that might be a really good idea, actually. But I feel like still it's going to be a big issue regarding the every 3 months to be a season. Because, season 2 had a lot of bugs. Even though it was a pretty good season, it had a lot of bugs. It had a lot of issues. Not just towards the vampire powers, which we really noticed in Avatar Share, which was towards the end of the season. But there were also a lot of other bugs regarding classes or whatever. And the same thing was in season 3. There was a lot of bugs as well, a lot of rebalancing, hotfixes, emergency stuff. And I feel like, and of course, yes, every season there's gonna be bugs. Totally, I get it. Because there's new content. But there's a difference between how much issues there could be. It could be reduced by a massive amount if we had indeed a public test room. But then there's still the issue that he mentioned earlier, it depends on how many people are actually working on the game. Because they might be overworked and underpaid. But we don't know that. So it's definitely worth trying a public test room, if that's what PTR means. And anyway, it is testing for the players. So just beforehand, let's say 1 month or something before release, it's okay, we worked on this part really hard, and we feel like this part, maybe, 2/4 of the season, this part is being really polished well. And the other, the other 2/4, and that we are still working on, we're going to push it out later for the test room, but you can first react to the first 2 parts or something, I don't know. And then it's we can instantly give feedback, hey, it's working well, but this and this seems to be an issue or doesn't work well. I'm getting randomly one-shotted here and there while I'm level 1 or something. I'm just calling something. But I definitely feel like it's cool to have a good positive potential to have like something like a test room, server, call it whatever. I definitely think that could be good if the developers genuinely are gonna take the feedback and are gonna be okay. We are gonna listen. Then it could be really good, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. And again, by the way, all the examples I mentioned earlier about the company or just in general, I'm not saying that it happened to them. I'm not saying that Blizzard is a bad company. I'm not saying that the people working on the game are bad. I'm not saying any of them. I'm just saying that seems to be a lot of happening just in general around the world. Which is really unfortunate because there are a lot of good developers, a lot of good actual people working inside different kinds of companies that actually just want to push out good stuff. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I just hope it's gonna be good. And if they say like, hey, we apologize, but we need more time for the gauntlet. It's not gonna be polished on, let's say, the end of this month. We really apologize. Yes, people are gonna be upset, but they're gonna be even more upset if it's not working well. So, push it back if needed. Delay Season 4 if needed. Honestly, delay it if needed. I agree with that. Because 3 months every season might be nice, but if you can't make it work without having a gigantic amount of bugs, push it back. Make it 4 months. It's fine. People will, it's the same with single player games, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. People will rather wait another year or another 2 years, and this is purely about single player games, if the game eventually on release becomes really good. Because nobody wants a shitty state of a release. Nobody wants it. And I feel like that's not even an opinion, but that is just my perspective. So I'll just say that's my opinion, but I don't feel like that is an opinion, because I don't feel like anyone would start up the game and instantly, well, for example, Cyberpunk 2077 on the console on release. That didn't look good. That really did not look good. And I love Cyberpunk 2077, but not on the console by any lengths. It's an amazing game right now, by the way, but at launch on console, yikes. And that's all I'm gonna say. Have a good evening, morning, nights, evening, morning, nights, evening, morning, nights, afternoon, wherever you are, and bye-bye. And by the way, of course, stay friendly to each other, stay respectful to each other, and stay lovingly to each other. We all just want to have some love and be kind to one another, you know? We all need someone. So just please be kind to one another. Bye-bye.